Welcome, everyone, to the Contact Center Perspectives podcast. I'm Steve McDonald, your host, and today we have a very interesting guest on today, Filip Popovic. Now, Filip, you are the head of the Relationship Center worldwide for Avon. That's a lot of responsibility. And with that, you're constantly thinking through things that you called actually the golden triangle. You call it about data and technology and your BPO partnerships, and how you think about bringing all those together in the best practice ways. So we're going to dive into that really deep today. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to give you an opportunity to explain a little bit more about your background. A couple of things that are really interesting that I found out just in our travels together in our conversations is you called it your number one role in life is your CDO role, Chief Dad Officer. And I love that. I love it. I've actually used that in my own family, and my kids didn't buy it. My wife didn't buy it, but I still tried, right? And you just got back from doing a really nice trip where you were a digital nomad and you traveled with them. So before we get started here, if you wouldn't mind expanding a little bit more on your background, and then we'll dig into the topic.
Sure, Steve, thanks a lot. Thanks for your invitation. I do appreciate that one. Not only like you invite me as an expert from the area to discuss certain things, but also like a podcast consumer. And I find a privilege being here today with you. So thanks a lot for that one. And then talking about my Chief Dad Officer role, please have in mind that I'm having a very difficult to work with my Chief Financial Officer, which is my wife. And I'm having very talented associates, my kids. So basically, Chief Dad Officer is a difficult role where actually I do serve them greatly. Still nothing about being chief there. It's actually just serving my family properly. But I do enjoy because being in this stage, I find enjoying a time with my family really like a very important one. That's my key energy. That's my key motivation. And then, yes, you are right. Sometimes we just turn on car and leave for a few weeks trip, which it's actually still happening because my kids are before school. So we can still explore some time all together. We spent like 6 weeks together in one part of the Europe, and it was really amazing, like a real family reconnection and a lot of fun together. Yeah, thanks a lot for reminding me on that role as well.
Well, it's important. That's a very important balance in life. We can kind of get out of balance that way. So I'm glad that you're not. But here's what I'd love to do. I'd love to ask you about, first off, selecting the right BPO partner, but from a technology standpoint, all the BPO partners that you have, right? We can't be experts in everything, right? We have to rely on partners. We have to rely on people. Maybe if you wouldn't mind just starting about telling us your philosophy on the importance of BPO partners and the role that it plays in what you're doing at Avon.
Yeah. So definitely, I mean, I would say that partners, BPOs, are, I can't tell anything else that they are Avon, because at the moment we connect and they start working for us, it's actually Avon. They are representing us in front of our consumers the way Avon should be represented, because our consumers, I mean, they don't care who is picking up the phone. It's Avon. It might be this provider or another provider, it's Avon. So from that angle, I do appreciate connection with all our vendors, but also what we as a team are doing is actually very detailed and careful selection of the companies that we work with, because as I mentioned, it's a front face of the company. Usually we provide the first connection with our consumers through a provider, which means like a huge effort to be done there. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that, because there's so many different dimensions, right? In terms of feeling like they're just an extension of Avon, right? I mean, they have to have the right knowledge. They have to have the right adoption of the culture, right? They have to have the right philosophy of how they're dealing with your customers, right? How do you think about that? And then how do you work with them, right? We like to call it training and, but what you're talking about is an ecosystem that works together in kind of a whole new level. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you create that ecosystem.
Steve, I would say actually it's co-creation, because it's not Avon delivering training. I mean, yes, we do deliver sometimes training, but we also have the feedback from our BPOs, what our reps are saying to us, how they would like us to treat them, and also what is the tone of voice we have to use. It's actually now providers or BPOs who are actually advising us what to do. Because at the moment you lose this direct connection with your consumers, it's not anymore you understanding even how to do that. Yeah, that was back like a couple of years ago when we transferred the knowledge from Avon to the BPOs. But now we clearly rely on these soft skills being upgraded even from the BPO side, while some knowledge related to the products, related to maybe some operational topics, or maybe a model that we are changing, like business model, that's something that actually Avon is still delivering. And we will keep delivering that, obviously, because it's us creating that. So you see, this synergy, it's co-created. And in fact, I do appreciate it even more because, if I create a wrong model and I have to communicate something to our consumers, if I would like to fill this gap, I can somehow compensate it here, like to hide the gap. But now we, from the providers, from BPOs, we clearly receive immediate feedback that something is wrong. There is no subjective opportunity or actually any opportunity to hide any issue happening, for example, here in the kitchen, because feedback is a very straightforward and very, very objective, So we don't need even to translate what reps are saying. We receive from the BPO, okay, they're saying your programs are complex. Your motivational elements or products you are giving as a prize are not good. Or we love your new delivery model. We love new earnings opportunity. This is now, in fact, something that we are clearly receiving from our VPO. So you see, it's not us delivering the training anymore. We rely on only us, I would say. We rely on our BPO big time. And that's why that partnership is very important, because that's a co-creation. Yes, we might have a BPO to whom we are going to deliver all this, but you can assume that's not the best relation. And that's the relation actually we would long-term keep. We would rather turn to this co-creation mood and the real partnership, I would say.
So, from everything I'm taking away from you just said there is, in that partnership, a true partnership, there has to be a tremendous amount of trust, right? And trust is something that can't be given, it has to be earned, right? And that I'm getting the understanding from what you're saying is a very reciprocal relationship that over time is built on trust, right? Where you're learning as much as they're learning from you. Did I get that right?
Yes. But just to try also to add on that one, trust on the partnership is built from the moment we start RFI. Like, first impression, from the moment when company starts presenting themselves to us, that's the moment where we start actually learning and building the trust. And I don't believe that actually we should put our provider on zero and let's now start building the trust on the moment when actually they start working for us. I will not feel comfortable with that one. Actually, the trust is built much earlier, and we give them then a chance to earn even more trust and actually us to earn trust on their side, because it's it's all the time like mutual connection and mutual relationship. It's never just us treating someone as a partner. We need VPOs also treating us as a partner and thinking long term about us and all those things. Although I'm on a side of Avon where actually they are delivering something to us, we also need VPOs treating us as a partner as well, because it's a mutual connection, definitely. And
You said something in there. You used the term long term. It's a long term partnership, right? That's a mentality you're going into it with. A lot of companies, when they're looking for BPO partners, they're looking for a low cost outsource, right? And if it's not working, they could be traded in and out. There's more of a commodity type relationship there. And that's not at all what you're describing, a long term partnership. Like, how do you judge a BPO partner to understand that you're getting a partner back? That's not the way that a lot of the BPO world works, right?
yeah, you are right. It's not the way. However, I think that all the BPOs also deserve the clear inputs and clarity was the company goal. And by the way, if my goal is to have a cheap provider, and to take cost out. That's my strategy. And even in that circumstances, I do believe that partner on the other side might be right. Because if I communicate them, it's a cost, then we go for cost. If I communicate them, it's a value, then we go to the value. If I communicate very complex one, where what actually Avon is existing, it's taking cost out, bringing value up. It's a very difficult relation, I know, but still, we have to work together. It's not me giving them directions, especially not on how part. I can say, Avon needs this, how we can do that together. And that's my way, opening the doors to our providers, helping us to achieve this what Avon need. And then basically every provider, literally I can say every provider we work with, understand the logic, and then some of them say, shake a hand and deliver what's asked, while some of them start not understanding what's requested and all other things. I don't want to talk about those that don't understand because obviously it's a short-term relation and I don't think they deserve being mentioned even. This was enough. But the ones who understand what are our needs, no matter if that's a hard cut of the cost or huge investment in the value, are the partners. Because how part is on their side. It's not us micromanaging them. I mean, you hire BPO to deliver something for you with understanding and trust that they are an expert of the area. I know how to build a strategy, most probably, for Avon. However, even after I build it, I have to consult them. Is this real? Is this 2025, 2028? Or let us leave it for 2030 as an example. It's too early. Or don't even go there because it's too old. So you see, it's a co-creation even on a strategy level. Though I might have a budget targets as an example. It's completely fine for me. Partner is one helping us to achieve realistic targets and what's needed on our side. And when you click there, that's a real partner. That's how we find them, yeah.
It's interesting because even in 2025, you mentioned, right? We're in 2025 today. On an industry level, not even talking about BPO partners, but the customer experience or customer support department within a lot of companies, even in 2025, is viewed more as a cost center than a value center, an investment center, an experience center, right? So that's a industry-wide issue. And I know that you've addressed that, and that's not the case inside of Avon, right? But how do you work with your BPO partners so that they don't feel like that, right? This partnership, that's a reciprocal feedback. That's one of the biggest issues that most companies have is there's broken feedback between the tremendous knowledge, having most every interaction with the customer, not having it translated, not having it reach the other departments, right? How do you work with your BPO partners to create that kind of a better communication flow? And this is something that somebody said a few months ago on the podcast, so that they help make you smarter, right? That you're learning from them as well.
Yeah, if we are not learning from them, that's not the proper relation because we are also paying to learn from BPOs a lot of things. As an example, what is the experience feedback from our representatives and consumers? Because who else can give us feedback if not BPO with usage of, for example, their technology or any other, maybe our technology as well, but with usage of something, they can actually sum up the experience of our consumers. So you see how much we are learning from them on a daily level. It's a very important. In Avon, we are a social selling business, which means connection do matter a lot. So from that perspective, yes, obviously we are spending some money. We are giving some money to our BPOs, but we are giving some money to our associates as well. So as a department, we might be assumed as a cost department, but value we are bringing is actually clear from the experience agenda perspective because there is no chance that anyone else can bring a better daily pulse of the mood of our consumers if not call center. I mean, reps are consumers. They are calling us for something. And by default, they're not calling us because everything is great. They're calling us because they might need some support or there is something bad. Rarely they call us to tell us, oh, that was amazing. Thank you. It's obviously a rare effort that reps are and consumers are doing. It's not only showing them that we appreciate their effort and the experience and knowledge they are sharing with us. We have to constantly highlight that we do expect that this profile of consumers are calling us. We do expect that. What are the trainings and tactics we are delivering to our team of the agents? I call them our because they support our consumers, you see. What are the trainings that we are delivering to them so they can lower down the pressure? Because it is expected, this profile of a consumer, to call us, rarely to say us thank you. And that's completely normal. But not only that, we are also trying to do an upsell, cross-sale activities. In some of the markets, Avon is only experiencing just now with that. In some of the markets, we are becoming even more senior, or like a 1-year experience, and really delivering some sales to a very simple connection, because it's a magic to convert an angry consumer to an immediate buyer. And also it's a solid job converting one asking you for any type of the support again to the buyer on spot. And we do appreciate our BPOs developing this profile of the agents and delivering this to us. As you mentioned, clear feedback is very important. It might come also from the cultural aspect. I'm coming from Montenegro, like Balkans. We do deliver feedback very openly, with respect, in a very human way, but very openly. Black is black, white is white. There are no hidden sentences. We deliver it right as it is, with only one purpose. If it's wrong, let us fix it. If it's good, I congratulate you. So when they see this very human approach, even if it's disaster, we fix it together. That's why partnership. They don't immediately take this position, okay, I have to fight back or I have to justify and explain. Of course, I'm looking for the justification and explanation, but I need things to be sorted out. Let us try to sort them out, and then later on we can follow up what happened and all these things. And I think actually that's about partnership. It's not partnership only having a nice moments together, but actually how you pass those difficult moments together. Let's be very open and honest. There is on a daily level fire everywhere. That's why you have a call center.
I love that. There's a fire everywhere, every day, but you still have to have that magic, right? To convert. I love the way you put that, to convert an angry customer actually into a happy, not only a happy customer, but maybe even a cross-sell opportunity, upsell opportunity. That is very important skill set. You talk so eloquently about feedback. And these days, there's so many agents internally and your BPO partners that are having conversation, that technology is becoming more and more important at aggregating and analyzing and doing something, taking action with that feedback. I'd love to know about your point of view on technology. And do you rely on the technology of your BPO partners? Do you have your own internal technology? What's your point of view on making sure that you're using technology? And this day and age of AI is going to get even more and more important. How do you do that?
Let me share with you our latest example. A very clear example of happening like we were experiencing exercising last 3 months with the AI, usage of AI, how they can help summarizing all open comments we are having from our representatives. So actually, we ask AI to help us. We put them bulk of the open comments from our representatives, and then AI is summarizing this profile of the rep, gives you this feedback. Talking that much about AI nowadays, I clearly realize that some of our agents or even associates in Avon, they start worrying about their job, which is completely not the case. We had a massive data in the hands that there is no human that can perceive those data. Plus, human is doing it subjectively. There is no chance you to be objective. Even, for example, if we hire a human to do some data analysis on a vendor side, on a very human way, they might hide certain comments agent related. Or if we do it in-house, they might hide some comments our company related. So we start listening. Like last 3 months, we start exercising how we open comments of our reps, give to AI, and then AI summarize those comments to us. It's a massive change into the approach. And actually, it's a completely new process and way of processing this data because it surprised us a lot. You clearly see that no one is hidden, everyone is on spot. And it's then now to us to realize that it's not department being on spot to play, but accept the feedback and then move forward. So you see actually how big gap now we have in a quality, in number of people we need really working in the quality because we don't need to defend. It's 100% true what AI summarized to us. It's 100% true. So we clearly know that's the truth. So you don't need to defend. You have to find a way how to actually make it better or fight internally against that issue. So our consumers in month 2 or 3 are actually more happy with us. Because again, like a magic is converting unhappy rep to a happy one or unhappy one to one buying something further. But what's very important to accept, there is no consumer picking up a phone with aim to leave us. They pick up a phone at least as an opportunity to us, so they stay because it's an effort. So if they pick the one who are leaving, they're not calling. Decision taken, they're out. The one who call us, you see how it's important actually that we accept them properly and we treat them properly at the moment of them calling us, because this might be our last chance. And then converting last chance to a future customer or future buyer or continued buyer is as well magic. So sometimes you have added revenue, sometimes you have maintained the revenue. That's what call center is doing all the time. Even before we start with this revenue stream, I truly believe that majority of angry consumers, if they buy again, you help them staying with us. You help company them staying with us. So this is a massive work. And I keep saying and talking about this within the company because that's what our cost center is doing. If we are cost generator, this is what we are doing. We are keeping our consumers happy and stay with us as well, not only being angry.
Well, and that's retention and NRR, net revenue retention, is something that every company should be focused on. What you're talking about clearly separates you from a cost center to a value center. You're upselling, you're cross-selling, you're retaining customers, you're changing. That's that magic, right? That's why it's so hard to think about why we still have a reputation throughout the industry as a cost center, right? 2 questions that I have that I want to make sure that I ask. And that is, you have an audience here that is, there are people that are internal running call centers, experience centers inside of their companies. You have BPO partners that are listening. If there was one thing that you wanted to communicate to others like you that are running customer support call centers internally, what would you want to say to them? What would you want to say to the BPO partners that are listening here?
Steve, it's one and the same message, by the way, to both audience. No hidden agenda. In partnership, there is no hidden agenda. It's BPO who is taking a revenue. It's us, consumers of a BPO support, who is actually taking a huge efficiency and huge value from the BPO. So as much as we can be transparent with each other, we both have a goal. We have a budget. BPO is having a revenue target, which is again budget. As much as we can eliminate this hidden agenda and fighting about hidden things, it helps us to work very precisely, very openly, and a long term. Once you have hidden agenda, it's so clear. I had some partners, ex-partners, ex-vendors, that when I send out a message, it's taking them 2 months to learn what I'm saying about. The same partner was taking 5 minutes on a RFI or RFP or RFP to learn what I'm saying. So how come here you need 5 minutes and there you need 2 months? Actually, for me, that's a hidden agenda. If I'm clearly saying I need your support, I'm expecting that BPO is really putting right the spot on the table. Okay, I'm making it up. I ask for efficiency or cost cut. They tell us, okay, we have these 2 months booked resources. In 2 months from now, we can do this. But for example, in the meantime, we give you some added value. Very open, transparent, and on a partner level relation, because if nothing is happening, until when I'm going to keep that vendor, until contract is expiring, or until my legal is saying that actually it's a notification period. On other side, if vendor is not giving us a clear DPO, is not giving us a clear message, this what you are asking, it's impossible at this moment. We can do this or that or any idea. You see impossible and you stop there, it's not an answer, but impossible. And then, but still, we can do this or that. That's a communication. So I really encourage everyone in the audience to eliminate any hidden agenda and be very transparent, because we are grown up. BPO need revenue, we need support. Let us work together around the common goal. Long partnership, because it's easier, it's more convenient if you work long term, correct?
Oh, absolutely. I'm thinking in my mind, right? Open, honest, transparent, working together, long-term partnership. You just described what most marriages should be, right? You just described, like, these are the key essence. This is the element of a working relationship, a partnership, right? Valuing each other. And that doesn't happen when there's hidden agendas, when we're not saying things, when we're working behind the scenes and we have different motivations. And so that's what I'm taking away. The importance of the partnership and how to make a true partnership work, and valuing each side. I've heard over and over and over again, you valuing the contributions of the BPO partner. I think a partnership has to start with that. Each side valuing the other. If there isn't value that we're seeing there on more levels than just cost savings or things like that, you have talked about many, many different layers of value that has to go both ways. And that's what I'm taking away from today.
As you mentioned, it's very similar to marriage. Yeah, actually, it's very similar to any relation, in fact.
Yeah.
And valuing each other, being open and transparent is just helping. It's actually the only way. And for the record, it is possible. I'm not imagining this. We work this way. In Avon, we work this way with our vendors. And it's not only me. My entire team works this way with our vendors. It's possible. It's happening. It's not science fiction. It's reality. We live that.
I'm a big believer. We've spent many hours talking, and I love every moment that we do. And I think we should probably do a series of these, right? So here's what I would love to ask, though. I know people are going to have questions. Would it be appropriate if I gave out a link to your LinkedIn profile that people could reach out if they had questions, they could ask you?
Yeah, that's actually massive benefit to myself. I love being connected with people. I love exchanging the thoughts and thinking with people around. And because every question and every answer, and then my question and then my answer is just like a mutual benefit. So I do appreciate anyone reaching out and being connected with me, because that's just like networking is a gold support to everyone, I do believe. So thanks a lot for that, actually. I appreciate it.
Well, good, good. And here's the last thing I'd like to say is thank you. And specifically for what? Well, the mission of this podcast is to bring together different insights, different perspectives from leaders all over the industry. We don't talk to our peers enough. We don't learn from our peers enough. And the mission of this podcast is to bring that together. And if we can do it, and we can do it well, that's like the saying, the rising tide that lifts all boats. And I think you significantly contributed to the rising tide today. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks. So thanks for the invitation. And I'm happy to join you again when you have an interesting topic to discuss. Of course. Looking forward.